Hello, everybody. My name is Madison. Welcome to the webinar. I'm located in Vancouver, British Columbia right now, but I know we have students listening from all across Canada. So if you want to, put your name in the chat box and then let us know where you're listening in from. Let's see. Okay, awesome. So we have Nicole from Oakville, Ontario. We have Matt from Okotoks, Alberta. Cindy from Laval, Quebec. Casey from Richmond. Troy from St. John's, Newfoundland. Awesome. Okay, it looks like we have students from all across Canada, which is super exciting.
And this webinar is going to be about 30 minutes, and we do have a special bonus opportunity for those of you that stay until the end. We're going to open it up to questions around the 30-minute mark, but if you're able to stay until the end of the webinar, you're going to get access to our premium scholarship tracking sheet. And this is a tracking sheet that all of our students have used to literally be able to win anywhere from $30,000 up to $155,000 in scholarships in less than 1 year. So if you're wanting access to the scholarship tracking sheet, then stick around to the 30-minute mark. And then obviously, if you guys have any questions, we're going to open it up to a Q&A at that point as well. So I want to start by going over the truth for most students. And the truth is that when most students decide they're going to go into post-secondary, they've had no guidance or haven't done anything to prepare for the costs that they're about to incur. They really haven't been given any type of formula for financial success and well-being, which leaves many students going into massive, massive debt. And in fact, the average Canadian student is actually graduating with $26,000 of debt. Right? And even post-secondary students who don't end up going into massive debt are constantly living through their post-secondary years with a fear of how they're going to pay rent next month and how they're going to eat food and afford dinner, right? And that's really just the reality that they face. And this was something that I didn't want to live through. And so if you guys don't know me, my name is Madison Guy, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to share exactly how I created a predictable system for myself of how I won over $50,000 in scholarships and how I had success with my own scholarship journey, which has allowed me to share that success with other students. So my story is I actually got a soccer scholarship to UBC, and I had committed to going to UBC in grade 11. But when I graduated from high school, I literally had no idea how much it was actually going to cost to go to university. And so I got into my first year and I immediately got hit with a $15,000 bill. And I didn't have any money to pay for it. So that was really the point when I started to research how I could have success with scholarships and how I could really, take control of my financial well-being as a student. And so the result of the research that I did, and after hundreds and hundreds of hours of research and testing and different applications, was that I did end up winning over $50,000 in scholarships and awards. But, what was more interesting about that than the money was that after I won $50,000, all of a sudden I was on the Dean's Honor Roll and I captained my soccer team to a national championship. So I really quickly realized that there was this very direct correlation between my financial well-being and then my academic and my extracurricular success. And I ended up graduating from UBC with zero debt and actually money in the bank, which is what allowed me to start GrantMe. So you might have already seen me because we've had a lot of press with GrantMe. So you might have seen me on Breakfast Television or in the Vancouver Sun or the Province. I also spoke at the BC Tech Summit to about 3,000 students. But if you haven't met me, then I'm super excited to have you on here and to hopefully answer any questions that you guys have about having financial freedom as a student. So today, here's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share why scholarships are a good investment, like why they're actually worth your time and why you want to make the investment now to apply to scholarships and have success with them. And then the second thing is the key attributes that scholarship committees are looking for. The third thing is the 4-step system to winning scholarships and graduating debt-free with the least amount of time and effort required. And like I said, once we go through this, at the end, we're going to open it up to a Q&A so that you guys can ask me any questions you guys have about finances, scholarships, or anything like that. And I'm excited to answer your questions. So we're going to start with why scholarships are a good investment. Now, this is a really great chart, and it's quite simple, but basically the reason that scholarships are such a great investment is because they are cumulative, which means that the more work that you put in, the more money that you're able to make, right? And if you look at a part-time job, so you look over here, you can see that, if you were to work 1 hour per week at a rate of $20 per hour, the total you can make for the entire year is $960, right? And that's not going to change, because it's not like the harder you work, the more money you make instantly, right? However, applying to scholarships, if you were to commit 1 hour a week and do that every single week for an entire year, our average student is then winning $2,000, right? But what's more interesting is how that dramatically increases as you keep going, right? So the difference between 1 hour per week to 2 hours per week for scholarships is $3,000. And the difference between, 1 hour a week for a part-time job and 2 hours per week for a part-time job is it's basically $1,000, right? So you can see that there's this dramatic increase and cumulative effect to putting in hours for scholarships, because every single time you put in a scholarship, it's 10 times more likely that the next application you put in is going to have success, because you keep improving. So for that reason, there's this cumulative effect. So that's really something that you want to think about. And, like I said, after you do that first application, you just became 10 times more likely to have success with your next one. And that's not an opportunity that you have when you're working a minimum wage job, right? So that's why you want to invest in scholarships. Now, you're like, okay, great. I get the investment. I get why I should be spending my time doing this. And, you can really apply for scholarships at any point, whether you're in high school, post-secondary, graduate, or even you're thinking of going back to school. There's going to be scholarships available, right? So you get why it's important to do it. But what are the key attributes that scholarship committees are actually looking for? How can you stand out, right? So we've actually taken these key attributes from specific scholarship applications that our students have won and have had success with, that are worth anywhere from like $50,000 up to $100,000, right? So these are the 5 key attributes that we see over and over again. And it's leadership, sense of self and community, initiative and achieving goals, self-reflection, and then problem solving and resilience, okay? So if you're able to master these key attributes and you're able to clearly articulate this on a scholarship application, you will have success with scholarships. And that's what we're very good at GrantMe, is helping students design their applications and their writing in such a way that scholarship committees can see every single one of these key attributes very clearly. So this is what you want to start thinking about, and you want to think about, what examples do I have that reflect these key attributes and that would be strong to put into a scholarship application. Now, the scholarship system. So there's really 4 key pillars to winning scholarships, and everybody thinks that scholarships are risky, or they're hard, or they're challenging, and you might not win anything, or you're not good enough. And that's just simply not the case, because every single student that's come through our program and completed it as designed has won scholarships, right? And they've got a return on their investment. So these are really the 4 key pillars. The first thing is financial planning. The second thing is research and creating a spreadsheet. Next is creating a winning essay template. And then the last thing is applying and winning, okay? So we're gonna go through each of these and we're gonna talk about them individually. But if you can master this, and you can actually create a system around how you apply to scholarships, you can actually, save yourself thousands and thousands of hours of time that you would otherwise be working, as well as make, hundreds of thousands of more dollars than you would if you were working a minimum wage job, right? And so we really want you to look at this and say, if I can build a system around scholarships, I can be successful. And you could actually, you could not have to work if you can set yourself up like that, and that's what happens for a lot of our students. So the first thing, creating a financial plan. So the number one thing that students overlook is actually knowing what it's going to cost for you to go to school, right? So if you're in your first year right now, or your 4th year, or you're a graduate student, or you're in high school, whatever it is, right? You want to know, what is the remaining cost of your education, right? And you want to look at that over the number of years that you actually have left, because it can change from year to year. So you want to total that up, and often students are shocked because the average cost of 1 year of education in Canada is over $19,000. It's like $19,400, right? So you want to know what that cost is for you. And then the second thing you want to do is, once you know what that cost is and you understand your income and your expenses, you want to create a scholarship goal. And that goal should be to fill whatever that gap is. So if you know your education is going to cost you $20,000 and you have $10,000 saved up from work or from your parents or anything like that, then maybe your scholarship goal should be to fill that $10,000 gap, right? So you want to create a scholarship goal for yourself and actually make it tangible and something that you can actually achieve. So the third thing is creating a budget. So once you do this and you know the cost of your education and you've actually set a scholarship goal, you want to create a budget around that, right? Because you can win all of the scholarships in the world, but if you can't manage your money effectively, it doesn't really matter how much money you win, because you're not going to get any better, right? All it's going to change is your lifestyle is going to get more expensive, right? So you really want to create a budget, and you want to factor in what is the scholarship dollars that I'm going to win, and what am I going to win each year after that, right? And really, if you can do this and you have a financial plan for yourself and you have a way where you can actually go to school and graduate completely debt free, which is so important. So the next thing is research and create a spreadsheet. So the first thing I want to say is you want to avoid scholarship search engines, as they often have scams or just contests, right? They're not actually competitive scholarships. So things like Scholarship Canada, for example, or Wyconic, like, it's kind of a waste of your time, because it takes 40 minutes for you to put in all your information and you actually get nothing back that you're actually eligible for. So you don't want to waste your time on that. Instead, you want to check with your high school and university first, right? So if you're in high school, you want to check with your counselor and say, what are the internal scholarships that are available, because those will be the least competitive. And then if you're in university or you're a graduate student or whatever that looks like for you, you want to check with a representative from the school, maybe in the financial aid department or something like that, and look at what scholarships are available to me, right? And there will probably be some based on your faculty, based on what you're studying, based on the year that you're in. And you want to make sure that you apply to those first, because those are going to be the least competitive scholarships that you can apply to. And then from there, you want to look at affiliation scholarships. And what I mean by that is any affiliation that you or a family member has. So for example, that could be the bank that you're using, or it could be the sports team that you're playing on, or it could be the organization that you volunteer with, right? Or it could also be the club that your grandpa's been a member of for 15 years, right? Another really good one is your parents' employers. So you want to look at affiliations that you have, and again, those are going to be a lot less competitive for you than some of the national scholarships that are available. And then the fourth thing is that you want to track the scholarships that you find. So whenever you see a scholarship, even if you're not eligible right now, and that might change in a year, you want to track it. You want to create a list and a database for yourself so that you always have something to reference back to. And if you follow these steps, this is actually systematizing your research process so that you can be highly effective and spend most of your time actually completing the applications rather than doing the research. And then writing a compelling essay. So create a hook for yourself. That's the first thing, right? You want to create a hook for yourself, and what that means is that you want to create an introduction that's actually going to captivate the reader, right? Because if you do it and you do it generically and you don't do anything that's interesting that helps you to stand out, a lot of scholarship committees don't have time to read through every application, right? So they're just going to throw it away, and they're going to focus on the ones where they've created a hook and something that really captures their attention right off the bat. So that's the first thing you want to do right away in any essay that you write. And then the next thing is follow STAR structure. So STAR is situation, task, action, and result. And every single example that you give, you should have STAR structure in place. So what was the situation, what was the task, what was the action, and what was the result? And then the third thing is choose less examples with more detail. So a lot of students have a tendency to write everything that they've ever done, right? So they'll list out the 10 different activities or volunteer organizations that they've been a part of, but they don't ever describe the actual impact that they had. So instead, what you want to do is choose less examples and go into more detail about the actual impact that you had, right? So instead of listing 10 things, focus on 2 or 3 where you can actually measure the impact that you had on the people around you. And then the fourth thing is get authentic. So scholarship committees love it when you discuss challenges because they're looking for problem solving and resilience. Remember, that was one of the key factors and the key attributes that they're looking for. So you want to discuss challenges and you want to describe how you've had to overcome adversity, even if they're not asking for it, right? So make sure you get authentic, discuss challenges, and don't be afraid of that. Don't shy away from it because that's what they're looking for. And if you can incorporate these 4 principles into your writing, then you're going to create a very compelling scholarship essay. And this can be a template that can serve you over and over again, and you can reuse and recycle the material again and again. So that's really what it looks like to follow a system in order to be successful with scholarships. And, really what we're all about is helping students to actually achieve this system and create a winning system so that they can have success with scholarships, and they can also have success in every other area of their life that matters to them. So that's why I want to introduce to you guys the GrantMe International Student Scholarship Program. Now, this program was specifically designed to help international students that are coming to Canada have the most success that they can with scholarships and get your education paid for without going into massive, massive debt. So we really designed this program from an understanding that students are coming to Canada wanting to study, but they really have no means to pay for it. And the purpose of this program is to match you guys to scholarships that are going to be a good fit for you based on the fact that you're an international student, and then to be able to support you through the process of applications. And, this is our structured program for students to actually reach financial freedom and to create unpredictable results for themselves. Right? So it starts today for you guys. If this is really something that you want to do and you want to achieve financial freedom, you need to take action today. So, what does it look like? How does the program actually look? So, this program is really designed to create high ticket scholarship winners. But really, our ultimate goal is to have every single student create for themselves an empowered education. And so this means that scholarships is a big focus, but we have, really a holistic approach to having you graduate debt-free. So Module 1 is creating your authentic personal brand. And then Module 2 is the high paid student algorithm. So it's how you can find jobs that are going to pay you anywhere from $20 to $50 an hour as a student, right? Module 3 is your high ticket scholarship winner module. So it's how you actually become a high ticket scholarship winner, and we give you the entire formula to do that. And we really have designed it so that we can actually support you with every single application that you do. And then Module 4 is owning your finances. So what this looks like is actually helping you to create a financial plan and to set yourself up for financial success so you can avoid debt completely or get yourself out of debt in many cases. And then Module 5 is beating student loans. So many of you guys that are currently in post-secondary might have student loans. We're actually going to work with you to say, how do we get rid of the student loans that you have right now? How do we create a plan around that? So that when you graduate, you're not making $500 interest payments every single month because of the debt and the interest that you're accruing, right? We want to get rid of it while you're still a student, and so we can help you to do that. Or if you don't have student loans yet, we're going to help you to avoid taking out a student loan. And then Module 6 is creating side hustle. So a lot of you guys have been interested, and this is a new module that we've created. A lot of you have been interested in how do you actually create a side hustle? Like, how can I work for myself as a student and make more money on my own terms than I could if I was working a job? So obviously I have experienced this myself through GrantMe, and this is a formula we've shared with you so that you can actually start making money as a student today. And that's really what the different modules look like. And you can see it's a really holistic approach to take care of every single part of your education and your financial well-being so that you can have the success that you want to have as a student. Now, along with that, there's a whole bunch of support. So over 6 weeks, we're going to be supporting you with completing the coursework. You have access to email support. You have weekly office hours, so you can actually hop on a Zoom call and get face-to-face with our team so that we can support you with job applications or scholarship applications or budgeting or whatever it is that you need support with. And then we also have essay editing and revision. And this is huge. This is what a lot of students say is the most valuable part of the program, is that we actually take your applications and we edit them ourselves, and we support you with submitting strong scholarship applications, strong job applications, and any other editing that you need help with. So that's what you get in terms of support in the program. And then we also have the Grant Me Scholarship Portfolio. So what you're actually going to come out with is a personal brand reflection, and then a initiative and action worksheet, so you can actually reflect on what initiatives have you been involved in and what should you highlight on a scholarship application. You're going to come out with a financial plan. You're going to come out with a winning resume and cover letter, and in a lot of cases a job as well, a high-paying job. You're also going to get a year's worth of access to our scholarship matching app. So we built our own app. On average, our students match to $200,000 to $400,000 worth of scholarships, and you have access to that for the entire year. And then multiple scholarship essay templates edited by our team. So we're going to edit your applications, and we're going to make sure that we edit them based on the winning applications we've seen from other students. And that's really the opportunity that you have. We're really there to support you to put all of that together and create financial success for yourself. So that's what that looks like. And I want to go over what this program looks like and make sure that it's a good fit for you, because we get that it might not be if you're not committed to the process. So this program is for you if you're a high school, university, or graduate student. We have students that are 14 years old up to like 55 years old in the program. And really this program is designed to support anybody that's either in school or going back to school. The second thing is you want to graduate debt-free and not have to pay interest on student loans for 10 years after you graduate. So if you don't want to take out student loans, you don't want monthly interest payments for 10 years that are $200 to $500 a month, then this program is probably for you. And if you want to have an empowered education and one where you're in choice, you actually get to decide and choose how it goes for you, then this program would be a good fit for you. And the fourth thing is if you're committed to winning scholarships and getting access to high-paying jobs and having financial abundance. If that's something that you want, then this program is going to be the right fit for you. Now, since launching in our program, our average student is winning over $9,100 in scholarships, okay? And our top student last year won $155,000 in less than a year, which is pretty incredible. And altogether, our students have won over $2.4 million in scholarships in this program, right? So we have some pretty incredible results. And outside of that, our students are getting high-paying jobs, they're starting their own businesses, they're actually getting rid of their student loans in our program and, removing that financial burden and paying for school through scholarships and through amazing job opportunities. So we really have incredible results. And I think that's really a representation of the fact that we have incredible students, right? And I think the best way for you to really get a sense of what it's like for our students is for you to hear a video from them actually describing their experience of the program. So we're going to take a couple minutes and you guys can watch this video, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, it takes a lot of motivation. At the beginning of this, I told myself I wanted to win $20,000 for the scholarships. And so having like a goal in mind of what I wanted to achieve has really helped me to like stay on that path. And now that I have won money, it's motivated me to like want to keep going. I don't have a part-time job, but I think about this as my part-time job. I need to make sure that I'm setting time aside. Time management with this is like really, really important. So I'm setting time aside and working for on these like it's my part-time job, and thinking about it that way, that if I'm putting the time in, that I'm going to be rewarded for that. Like you guys have helped so much with that, and I know that if I put like my best foot forward and I work as hard as I can on these, then I already have been rewarded, which I'm really thankful for, and it just keeps motivating me to want to complete more applications.
But how has the program helped you? Or like if there's like one or two things that you think you got, from the program, what would those be?
Money? No, but I mean, it's really put me in a position where I've realized that financially I do have the ability to control my future. As someone where I've kind of coming into my senior year, I knew where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, but the financial aspect of it is always difficult, especially if you're a kid and you don't really know how it all works and when it comes out. Because like a year at UBC, if you want to stay there, that's like 20 grand a year. Realistically, that comes out to be like 20,000 a year, and like that's a lot of money. So to understand at this age that I can go out and if I can deal with my finances myself and take responsibility for them, I think that's so important. Like I know that funding my education was important. I worked hard and I was able to get it done. And now I'm going to understand the benefit of having a level of financial freedom when I'm at school, being able to use that.
So like the office hours that you guys set up, being able to talk to someone right away during those hours if we need questions answered. And you guys are so quick with your emails. Like if I send something, like I know the following day or the next I'll get a response. So the communication between you guys has been really, really amazing, getting to like talk to you guys and ask you questions about whatever we need. So it's been really great. And like I came into this, like I do fairly well in school. I think I'm a decent writer, but the amount of work that you guys have put into editing our essays and helping us is insane. And you guys have just it's been like so much fun actually. Like I got to like do all this and have success with my scholarships. I have like a beautiful cover letter and resume now, and I have like from all of our modules that we've done and from the like webinars, I have these like interview skills and tips for searching for job applications and things like that. So literally everything that I could have like been worrying about with regards to university and like saving money and all of that, all of my questions have been answered.
I really hope like other students are able to see the value of the program and join the program and succeed in the program, because you can succeed.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much, Paula.
So every time I watch that, I'm moved by it, because the difference between the students in our program and the students that are not in our program is that the students in our program have decided to make a choice about how their future is going to go. And what I mean by that is that we see a lot of students and a lot of adults as well that are making decisions about how their life's going to go based on the circumstance that they have or the hand that they've been dealt, right? So you know, they're making decisions about what school they can go to because of their financial circumstance. They're, you know, making decisions based on their family circumstance. They're making decisions based on, you know, the education that they currently have. Like they maybe think their education isn't good enough, and you make all these decisions about how your life's gonna go because of the hand that you've been dealt, as if there's nothing that can be done about it, right? What our program is about, what it was fundamentally built to do, was to allow students to have choice. Not just about their education, not just about their financial future, but about the way that they want to live their life, right? And it goes so far beyond the next 5 years. Every single student that comes through our program gets to make a choice about where they want to go to school, what they want to study, what jobs they want this summer. You know, they get to make the choice to have financial freedom, and then they get to make a choice about what career they go into. And nothing for them, for these students that you're seeing here, nothing is dictated by the hand that they were dealt. Because some of these students that we have in our program, some of the students that we interview, they actually have combined family incomes of less than $40,000, okay? And they're winning scholarships, more scholarships than their combined family income in our program. And what we really get is that it takes something to come into our program, right? It takes something for a student and a family that has a combined family income of less than $40K to say, I'm going to make the investment to come into this program, right? It takes a certain type of person. And what we know is that when those students make that investment, they've made a choice about how their future is going to go right at that point. They've made a choice. I'm going to have a say in how it goes. And that is so powerful. And then all you see is throughout this program and beyond the program, they're just producing results because they're in full control. Like, they are in the driver's seat of how their education is going to go. And we see that everywhere. Like, you guys just saw it in these interviews. We see it with all of our students. Like, they are in the driver's seat of how their future is going to go, how the next year is going to go, how the next 5 years is going to go, how the next 20 years is going to go for them. Like, they're in the driver's seat of that. And that is so powerful. Okay, so the last thing that I want to say is that, we designed this course from a place of understanding that students don't have a lot of time and that you guys are busy, right? So you're actually able to complete all of the course material within 6 hours. And we designed it that way because we want you to get through the content and the support that you need in order to actually just get started on taking action, right? So you can get through the course material within 6 hours, and then from there, all it's left to do is to actually put forward your scholarship applications. You'll know exactly what scholarships you're applying to. You'll have all the templates. You'll have a resume and cover letter, so you can put forward scholarship applications. You can create your budget. You can create a financial plan. You can get out of debt, and you can find a high-paying student job, right? And we want you to be taking action on that. So it only takes 6 hours to get through the course material, and that way you can actually go do what we want you to do, which is spending time on all of the applications that you're going to be putting together. So, that's really everything that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm going to open it up to questions in a couple minutes here. But I wanted to go over the program tuition with you guys so that you're getting offered a very special opportunity today. And so I wanted to go over that special offer with you so you guys are able to take action and actually create unpredictable results for yourself. So the regular tuition for this program is $1,997, but we have created a very special offer for those of you that are on the webinar today, and you are able to join the program for only $1,397. And we do have payment plans for that. So you can even split it into 3 payments, and you can pay only 1/3 of that today to get this special offer price. And like I said, this is really the opportunity to change the way it's been going for you, to get you out of debt if you're currently in debt, to get you out of working 3 jobs, to pay for school, to get you out of the stress and anxiety that you have about paying for your education, and to have you actually live up to what you're capable of, right? Because a lot of people underplay what they're actually capable of, and we're a pull for performance from people, which means that we want you to perform at the level that we actually know that you're capable of. So if that's something you guys want to do, you guys are going to be able to join today for that price of $1,397, and that's special tuition only for today. So we'll just drop that offer button in the chat box, so you guys will see it there pop up now. And if that's something to take action on, that you want to take action on, we're super excited to have you and very, very excited for you to get started on this. So with that being said, I'm going to open it up to questions from you guys. And I already see people are joining. Amazing. Hi, Raheem. We're so excited to have you. Hi, Stephanie. I'm excited to have you as well. And we'll have office hours this week for you guys, so you guys can come on and get in touch with our team, and we can really look at what your goals are, right? Because that's what we're trying to solve for. This is awesome. There's a whole bunch of you. Okay, so feel free, some of you guys already have, but feel free to put your questions in the chat box here, and we will answer those for you now. Okay, Andukar has asked, is this program designed specifically for international students only? Yes, Andukar, this is specific to international students. So we have other programs for Canadian students as well, but this program is specifically designed for international students that are studying in Canada. We have a massive database of international scholarships for international students coming to Canada. So that's what this is specifically designed for. So if you're an international student, this is the program for you. And the cool part about the program is that you're surrounded by a whole bunch of other international students as well who are going through the exact same process. So it's really a community of international students, which is great. Okay, so Jackie said, is this program for me if I'm thinking of going back to school and I already have completed an undergraduate degree? Definitely, Jackie. So we have a whole bunch of adult learners that are heading back to school that are already in the program, and we love having them because you know exactly what it's like to really get out into the real world, and you've made an amazing choice to go back to school, and so we can definitely help you with that and help you get that paid for. So absolutely, you can come into the program. Let's see here. Okay, so Isabel has asked, should I be doing this right now, or should I wait until I know what degree I actually want to study? I'm in my first year and I'm not sure yet. Isabel, that's no problem. A lot of scholarships aren't actually looking at what program you're in specifically, but rather they're looking at, what your leadership and volunteer is like, as well as your extracurriculars. And really they're basing the applications on that much more heavily than, what specific thing that you're studying. So you can absolutely be applying right now. Okay, someone said, I'm in my 4th year. Is it too late? It's absolutely not too late. There's so many scholarship opportunities even over the next couple of months that you can be applying for. It's really never too late to start this process. And like I said, we have students that are graduate and PhD students as well that are, only have like 1 year left in their programs, and they're in the program right now. Because for a lot of students, they're actually trying to pay down debt as well, right? Like it's not just about winning scholarships and getting access to new money. It's how do you find high paying jobs, right? How do you reduce the debt that you've already incurred and get you out of that situation? So it would absolutely be a good fit for you if that's the case. And there's tons of scholarships that you could be applying for sure. Awesome. Okay, Matt has said, do I have to have a whole bunch of leadership and volunteer in order to be a good scholarship candidate? Matt, absolutely not. You definitely need to have some leadership roles, but what we've discovered is that every single student has some degree of leadership, right? And most of it comes from how are you able to shape that in an application, right? And so we spend a lot of time with students thinking about how do we actually shape this so that you really stand out in an application, and we can really highlight your best experiences, and we're able to work with what you've got, as well as to focus you in on, what are the other initiatives that you could get involved in, right, to increase your success and, improve your eligibility. So we'll work with you to do that. Mateo said, do you have Matt and Mateo. Mateo said, do you have a payment plan? Yes, we do, Mateo. The payment plan, it can be split up into 3 monthly payments if you want to split it up that way. And so the first payment today would just be 1/3 of the $13.97. And that price already includes taxes as well. Awesome. Okay, and then, okay. Someone has said, Elisa has said, I'm in a gap year. Can I still take the program if I'm in a gap year? Elisa, you absolutely can. And this is a really important point because I don't know if people understand that scholarships are a 5-year process, right? So if you're taking some time off and then you're going to go into university or into a degree program, for 4 years or whatever it is, scholarships are generally a 5-year process. And if you're going on to do a PhD and master's, it's like a, it's like a 10-year process in some cases, right? So you can continue applying every single year. And like I said, it's that cumulative effect. Like you are bound to win scholarships if you've systematized it and if you're, dedicated to actually going through the process. And it's so much, it's not that much work, and it's such a higher payoff than working in, a minimum wage job, right? Because you're actually controlling your own financial future, right? So, you absolutely can do it if you're in a gap year, and we would encourage you to do it for sure. Okay, I see a whole bunch of other people have joined in here, which is amazing. We are so excited to work with you. If you guys have more questions, you guys are able to email support@grantme.ca, and we're happy to answer those for you. Unfortunately, this special offer is only valid while we are on the webinar right now. So if you're unsure, I definitely recommend that you make the leap, because like I said, you can only create unpredictable results for yourself by doing unpredictable things, right? And you can probably see that from the students that we've interviewed from our program. So you're only able to get that on this webinar. and we are gonna end the webinar now. So I really appreciate all of you guys being on here. We also put the link to the tracking sheet in the chat box as well, so you guys are able to access that. And like I said, that's what our students have used in the past to win high ticket scholarships, like $70,000 to $120,000. So you guys have access to that now, and I really appreciate your guys' time. And like I said, go after this, because it literally changed my own life. I have complete control of my finances. I've never been in debt. I will never be in debt. And that's a byproduct of the work that I did to create that for myself, right? So I encourage every single one of you to do that. And thank you guys so much to those of you that have joined the program. I'm super excited to work with all of you. And you're going to create some really incredible results for yourself in this program. So I'm very excited. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thank you.